So that looks quite good. Sadly, the sun is going behind the clouds. It's December and it's freezing. So today, the weather forecast was sunny, and I'm here and it's cloudy. So in Japan, in winter time, so it's December today. So in Japan, in the winter time, if the sun is shining and it's not too windy, or you're sheltered, it can be quite warm. It can be very pleasant, but as soon as that sun goes behind a cloud, the temperature plummets. So I've done this house maybe a bit too big, but there we go. It is, I suppose, the main feature. It's a bit complicated. That's maybe why I've done it too big, because I'm so focused on it. Anyway, at least where I am, I was just about to say it's not too windy, and then I felt the wind breathing down on me. It's strange how these Japanese houses have like two roofs, one here and one here. It's a bit overly complicated. Bit of a challenge to draw, actually. And what's kind of not so nice about this is there's this big long roof they'd made here, and the roof it's like slanted in two directions. So I'm not going to do that. It's slanted this way, which just looks very strange. So I'm not going to do that. Wow, I'm really not feeling good today. I'm feeling rough. But there you go. That's how it is sometimes. Now, one of the things I like about this house is the shrubbery. So you've got this bush here. Luckily, it's not super cold and it's not super windy. It's just mildly unpleasant. We've got some kind of hill or mountain in the background here. Something here. Something here. Wow, it gets quite complicated. Yeah, that shrubbery, and then it comes down here. Somehow that comes down like that, and then we've got this lovely edging here. I like that. And then we've got these lovely long grasses here. We've got quite a nice building here. I'm squeezing it in. I don't need all of it, but it looks kind of interesting. I got the height right. So I'm a little bit worried because I had to go through a gate to get here, and so I hope I don't upset any farmers. I should have asked, but you know, it also feels a little bit kind of, you know, knocking on people's doors and stuff like that. Being a foreigner, I might kind of freak them out. Oh, and there's some shrubbery here. That's not too bad. It got complicated quickly. I wanted this a lot smaller, but I'm not redrawing it because I did it in pen. So anyway, here we go. So I'm going to try and keep the sky as light as possible. So I'm just going to do this yellow ochre. Over here I might do a touch of blue. The tricky thing with this painting is there's a lot going on, and I really have to distinguish between this background mountain and these trees in the foreground. So this is my first wash, my shadow wash. Okay, now let's do this green. So it's a very yellowy green. So now the trick here, and I'll keep saying this, but maybe it's also to help myself, is to keep this as light and simple as possible. Less is definitely more, especially when you're painting outside. I can do a little bit of green up here because I'll leave that later, some of it, and it'll add to the sense of variety. I can add some yellow ochre over here. There's a tree here, and it's almost, not quite, but it's good enough. It's almost pure yellow ochre. It's a beautiful winter colour. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Oh, and there's another one here. Must be the same kind of tree. Oh, the sun is coming out. Oh, wonderful. Oh, it feels beautiful. Really feels beautiful. So here we go. So that's what it looks like with sunshine. Okay, now here I want, if possible, a little bit of dry brush because I want to leave some whites. Oh, this is not good. One of the design problems with this easel, and it's quite a big design problem, is this thing at the bottom here, because you want to be able to go all the way to the end of the paper. Well, at least I do. And then I didn't really get dry brush there, but there we go. Oh, that sunshine is, honestly, it's wonderful. So there's that. Bit of yellow. I know it'll go though. It will disappear. And a little bit of green here. And maybe some green down here. Okay. Bit here. Bit here. Maybe there's some here as well. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I might do some here too. Okay, and then here. So then we've got these little browny bits. I don't know what colour they are. They're not exactly brown, but darker bits. And there's not a lot of them, but they are there, and they kind of give a sort of direction which leads us into the painting. So if I can, I want to add them. Oh, but I don't want bloody red. Oh my goodness. I have to apologise. I used to be this nice person, yeah, but I got old. I got decrepit, and I'm not as nice as I used to be. Grumpy at best. So sometimes when I'm really not feeling good, I express it. What is it? Do psychology, blah, blah, blah. I can't even say it. English is my, second language, maybe third. Grunting is my first language now. But what do psychologists say? They say something like, it's good to express your feelings. Really? You can go out there and start shouting and yelling and punching people? I mean, that's expressing your feelings. That looks nice, right? I kind of know what they mean. You got to deal with your feelings, right? But really, they say that, but does anybody know how to deal with your feelings? Does anybody really know that? I actually don't think so. Nobody really knows how to deal with their feelings, you know, except you just got to experience them, right? Experience the absolute misery or whatever you're going through. And I think just remember, it will pass. But of course, sometimes I think we don't feel our feelings, and I think that's okay. I think that's really okay, because when people kill themselves or something like that, I think they do that out of feeling, you know, it's what they're feeling. So feelings definitely can be dangerous, and that's quite nice. And I think the ability to sometimes not feel is a major strength. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I think it's because I'm absolutely freezing. I'm not feeling well today. I'm not feeling it. But I kind of know as the day progresses, I'm going to feel better and better. So I'm going to do that far distant mountain now. And I'm going to exaggerate it. So I'm going to do it a much more muted colour than it really is. And even that maybe is a bit too strong. So I'll water it down a bit. We've got some trees here. And there's some gaps in the trees. It would have been better if that dried off, but there we go. I like the colours in this painting. I like the colours a lot. So if you do outdoor painting, then I strongly recommend you choose nice weather, clement weather. Oh, look at that. There's something really nice there. But if you're a real serious type, then maybe go out in the cold. Suffer for your art. Or is that just ego? I think it is a bit ego. Well, I do like painting outside. I did think it was going to be sunny today, so. And I did want to do an on-the-spot painting. Last time I came here, I didn't have enough time. The weather was beautiful on that occasion. Oh, the sun came out again. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and then there's some kind of browny roof down here. Wow. My fingers are really beginning to get cold. Yeah, I don't like that. I've never had good circulation. And as I've gotten older, the circulation has basically just gotten worse. So what next? Okay, there's some, yeah, this thing is really complicated. I really don't like it. Yeah, that wind now, there's a really cold, nippy wind, and I can feel it getting into my fingertips. I'm not really leaving it to dry much because the sun is going to come out, but it's cold and this is a bit too much for me, to be honest. The sounds are beautiful around here. I'm really enjoying the sounds. Now what I've got to do here, and I'm struggling a bit, is to really simplify this and yet create nice shapes. Wooden thing here. I got that red. I didn't mix my colours enough. If you're doing a nice painting, then suffering is not too bad. But if it's looking a bit rubbish, then the suffering is quite hard. I'm not sure about this one yet. And this is all still a bit wet here, but so I hope this doesn't bleed into the bit down here or the bit above. And then over here there's some dark areas. Okay, that'll do. It's just hinting. And I suppose what I'm realizing as I do this is I'm painting this in such a super simplistic way that it's actually amazing training. And the reason I'm painting it in such a simplistic way is because I'm freezing. Well, my fingers are beginning to get colder and colder, and so I know I can't take my time here. And the truth is, if I did take my time, I'd probably bugger it up, which means mess it up. That looks quite nice. It's really simplified, but it's quite nice. But maybe I'm going to say that because it's self-promotion. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, it couldn't be better. I didn't believe it. Did I just hear a mosquito? Last time I was here, I walked over a snake in December. That's not right, is it? I mean, it's December. You should be hibernating. There's something wrong there. Come on. And I realised I still haven't put up the Christmas tree. Okay. Oh, that contrast is pretty good. And then I'm going to do a lighter one. I'm going to do a lighter one any minute here, because it is a bit lighter. It's a bit difficult to see actually. Oh. I really need to get better with my edges. But I've only been practicing for like 20 years, you know. So. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, the sun's coming out. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, I can't tell you how nice that warmth feels. And look at my painting, it's glowing. It's literally glowing. Give me that radiation. Maybe I went a bit too thick there. And there's some greenery that I should be adding here. That's disgustingly thick, but there we go. It did the job. Whoa! The gate just fell down. That scared the living daylights out of me. Oh my goodness. Wow. Nothing like a major shock to get the circulation going. Ah. And then this bit here, I'm going to darken this. But the thing is, not as a whole block. So I need to do these edges. I mean, it's partly because I'm using a flat brush. But I think even with a flat brush, I should be able to get better edges than this, but there we go. Okay. So I'm squinting my eyes, trying to see that it works as a pattern. Okay, there's some edging here. Bit more of a dark area here. Okay. And then this is all dark. Now really, I want a lovely mix. Cerulean blue, maybe alizarin crimson. But I always go a bit too heavy-handed, but there we go. Can you hear those birds twittering? They're having a party, right? Now, I might not be able to get this perfect, but if I can get it roughly, it's looking quite nice. Can you see here? So if you're struggling with your painting, I shouldn't say this, right, but if you're struggling with your painting, you know, and you're really feeling down, the best advice I can give you is get used to it. Whoever said that to artists? Get used to it. Get used to it. I mean, if I said this, oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that makes me so happy. If I said this, it'd be the wrong thing. It'd be a boring thing to say, and it's not completely true. But you know, some of the joy is really in the struggle. But of course, if you never ever do a good painting, then it's that combination, you know what I mean? It's that combination of struggle, and then eventually you end up doing a good painting. And I think that's the tough bit, you know, like getting through that struggle, you know. That's the tough thing. You know, I mean, it's almost like, I think to win at life, you've got to be a little bit of of a person who enjoys suffering, I think. And I don't like saying that. But I think there's got to be some kind of enjoyment of suffering, because, you know, to really achieve something good, it takes so much time and effort, you know. But at the same time, just to make it really annoying but maybe truthful, we've got to be careful not to enjoy suffering too much, and to also enjoy the successes. And how you do that, I guess it just comes with time. Nah, I'm just talking a load of rubbish, guys. Don't listen to me. I'm still trying to figure it out. Now, there's something... come on. Now, there's something really quite nice about that. Now, maybe I'm just, you know, blowing smoke up my backside, whatever, but I just think there's something quite nice about that. Oh, that green. Isn't it beautiful? And I'm kind of building up layers here. Now, I should have left a bit more green than I have, but, you know, it is what it is. That's quite nice. The surprising thing, I think, about how to develop in your painting is, say for example here, I'm cold, I can't be bothered to use another brush, so that's helped me, I think, in one way. I've also been super economical with my brush strokes, and like, say for example here, I would have gotten another brush, I would have changed colours to do this dry brush down here, but because I'm freezing cold and I'm impatient, I just used the same brush, the same colour, and just went choom. And I think it's that necessity that sometimes can lead to creativity. Because I think what you have to remember is, for example, I've got like a student, and she's doing art, yeah, and I can't believe the kind of art she's producing for her age. I mean, it's way better than what I produced when I was her age. But one thing I noticed, and this is a bit of a tricky thing for me to say, because one thing I noticed is they're teaching them how to draw and paint perfectly. The problem for me is when I was at art school or art college, they didn't teach me any traditional drawing and painting. And if they did, it was really boring stuff like folding up pieces of paper and then, you know, doing a drawing of folded up paper. I mean, they couldn't have made it more boring. They couldn't, you know, the teacher was like, you know, the most kind of woke, he would have been woke today, modernist, no feeling for real beauty, you know, someone who definitely doesn't smell the flowers or whatever, you know, just a complete, I can't explain it, with this hedgehog bloody haircut, a frightening stark looking face, and you know, like when it came to learning to paint, it was just mixing colours up, which, yeah, it's kind of useful, but like on my painting course, for instance, you learn how to mix the colours at the same time as painting a real object, you know what I mean? But this is the important point. When I saw this girl doing these incredibly realistic paintings, it's probably good, but that is also dangerous, because you need to be able to paint something a bit more, it needs to have some kind of style to it. Does that make sense? Because if it's just a perfect painting, then in a way, to be honest, we can all do that, really. I believe, with time, or many of us, yeah? So it needs that individual interpretation, that uniqueness, yeah? And you're thinking, oh yeah, just talking arty-farty here. But no, it really does. It really needs that unique signature. Otherwise, you know, it's like anybody can do that. So that's something to think about. You know, it's kind of like, here I go. I'm going to prattle on here, but it's kind of like you're always navigating between opposites. In one way, you do need skill, definitely. And to develop that skill, like the ability to draw something fairly realistic. I wouldn't say perfectly though. I'd just say fairly realistically. And to mix colours and have a basic ability at that, just basic. But then you need some way of like your unique way of painting that. And that is so important. Sorry, I'm just having a burp. That is so important. And that navigating between those two, how you do that is like really, it can, instead of being a problem, it can be interesting. You know, like somebody who does quite realistic paintings, but then there's a little bit of a weird touch or something a bit different, and that's where the uniqueness comes in. So yeah, anyway, that's basically my thoughts on that. Okay, so there's a utility pole here. It's obviously not a picturesque feature, but it's interesting and it might add to the painting. My biggest worry, which I shouldn't tell you, is not about the aesthetics of it. It's really about my hands are freezing, and if I do this crappy wobbly line here, it's like I've ruined the whole painting. So my hand that is holding the palette, the fingers are like ice. Oh, it has got a little bit of a bend. Ah, cheating. If it works, who cares? And that across, when you do that across, I know it's a pain, but you really want to make it as straight as possible. This bit going down, you want that to be fairly straight too, but this bit going across, that really has to be straight. So next, okay, that now the reason I keep saying like that is because these marks really have to be right, otherwise it just looks rubbish. And there's a post here. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it doesn't, it's behind the house, thank goodness. There's a post here, but that's enough. I've only got so much courage. Ah, that's nice. Little details like that, they make the painting. Okay, that's not great. That should have been curved, but okay. Oh, it's lovely now. The sun is out and getting warmed up. It's such a pain, but those lines really need to be straight. So probably need to stop soon because it's pretty good. It's good enough. And oh yeah, but there's a little bit more. Oh, the sun's gone. It was heating me up. I was getting so hot. It was wonderful. This is an insanely complicated roof. I'm going to call it that, even though I feel like I shouldn't because I haven't done justice to this roof at all, but it's an insanely complicated roof. Painting an insanely complicated Japanese roof. That'd be a good title. That's what I'm going to call it. And I know I really have done a kind of ad hoc kind of painting, but it looks quite nice. Getting them straight is also a big pain. And there's another pole over here. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Okay. There's some dead watercolor artists turning in their graves now. If they could see me using white paint, horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I think there should be like some kind of punishment, you know, for that. I mean, because let's be honest, we've got the bureaucracy nowadays, so, you know, there's all kinds of pathetic kind of crimes that we could punish, right? It's not too bad. Ooh, the sun went behind a cloud, yeah, and the wind picked up. I'm sure it's those dead watercolor artists that they're out to get me for like being rude. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, I think it looks a bit heavy-handed, but I am a bit heavy-handed. But I think it's quite good. I'm quite happy with it. And then yeah, it's not too bad. It's quite nice. And then nothing like praising myself. But then again, nobody else is, so yeah, okay. Okay, is there anything else? That really is about it. I'm quite happy with it. It worked out better than I expected. Okay, there's a shadow here. And it's a bit of a shadow here. Oh, I did all of it. But there you go. Those dead watercolor artists. Whoa, what was that? That sounded like a bloody T-Rex or something. I'm really upset, and I think oh, look at that. That's how you get your edges. Cheating. I bet those watercolor artists were really upset when they see me doing this. It's looking good as well. Even worse. Now look how that just improves it. Well, I think it does. I mean, yeah, this is not actually green. It's actually a kind of beige colour, but it's good enough. Okay, and then it works. And then here, I need a little bit of highlight here. Oh, the sun's coming out. You see, if you persist, good things come. You've got to basically tell yourself that, haven't you? And I think often it's true, but we all know life is not fair. Sorry to be a killjoy, but it's not, is it? But I think that's a good thing to go with. Like, if you persevere, normally things get better. Oh yeah, I quite like that. I'm going a bit crazy now with that, but it kind of works because the bushes and the grass and stuff in Japan, it is a bit crazy, to be honest. It grows like something wild. Well, it is wild, isn't it? But like wildfire. Hey, nice. Ooh, like it. Getting into my stride now, but finished actually. You know what's a disheartening truth? If there weren't computers, I'd be a much better artist. Because I've spent so long on things that, like trying to fix computer problems and not being like that kind of person, and building a website and not being that kind of person, and doing social media and not really being that kind of person. I used to just paint and it was wonderful. And I spent so much time trying to do all those other things, and with only extremely limited success. Must admit, I did sell some paintings, I did sell some courses, I did make some money, but nothing to brag about. I don't really like that, but it works, it's okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Ooh, happy. It looks quite good. For an outdoor painting, it's pretty good. Okay, hope you enjoyed that.